What's up, guys? We're back with another CrossFit Rife podcast. This episode, we are bringing along metabolism dietitian Brit. Is that the Instagram handle?
Yeah, that's a mouthful. Right? It's exhausting.
Is that actually it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good job.
Good deal. I'm proud of myself because that was a mouthful. So
we're gonna
talk to Brit a little bit. Obviously, all things nutrition, dietitian, stepping on some toes, debunking some myths. Okay. So if she offends you, it's out of the truth, right? It comes from a place of love.
I don't want to offend, but yes, maybe. No, I'm not going to offend. Stop. No, I'm going to be nice.
The goal is to not seek out offense, but if it happens, it's more of like, it's like this concept of like not a concept, but like whenever we want to call people to a higher standard, sometimes that involves stepping on toes. Mm-hmm. But it's all out of love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Just like when I no-rep people this week on Friday in the open.
Are you not no-repping anyone ever?
No, I am for sure. Okay. But more so now.
Okay.
You know? So, okay. But yeah, so we're going to kind of start off. What is your kind of like background? How did you get into the nutritional space? I know you grew up in Tennessee, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't really have a southern drawl in you.
No, that's a funny story. No, I don't. So
what's the story with that?
This is kind of like a lengthy story, so I'll do my best to short story long it a little bit for you.
That's an oxymoron. That's just not how that works.
But no, okay. So this is really hard to talk about. I don't normally like to talk about this. I don't like talking about myself. I do a better job of listening to other people talk.
Okay.
So my mom died when I was 13, and she died of breast cancer, and that, gonna try not to cry.
You're good.
Shoot. Okay. Just don't look at me because I'll start crying.
All right.
But when she passed, it really, really affected me. Mm-hmm. That was my first, I stopped eating, and I didn't understand what an eating disorder was, but that was like my first into the world of nutrition. We didn't have much money growing up anyway, so there wasn't a whole lot of food in the house anyway. Yeah. So like that was pretty common. But when you go through something like that, it changes the fabric of your being. So I stopped eating. I actually got really obsessed with seeing my bones, which is really, that's hard to say out loud, to say to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But I did. I mean, I was 13. So 13 to 15, I was really obsessed with that. My grandmother raised me, and she really wanted me to just, blossom's the right word, but she was just trying to pull me out of my shell, right? Yeah. Like she was like, you're clearly down. Depression was not a term we used at all. Yeah. When I was 13, I don't even think a doctor ever even said that word. But so she was like, I'm going to put you in pageants, which was great. So when I say I don't have the southern drawl, this is why. So putting me in pageants, I actually had a speech coach who taught me how to get rid of my accent.
I'm sorry.
So I don't, except that's not true. If I say ice, I just tried to say it not southern just now. Or
maybe if you said it in a southern accent, Fern would get you your ice machine.
Do you think so?
I think so.
I think you're lying.
You'll have to try it.
Well,
because nothing else has worked.
I'd have to say it like, would you get me an ice machine?
There you go. That's it. That's it.
That's so awful.
That's it.
Anyways, so that's kind of where like I lost the southern draw. With pageants, I learned how to speak to people. I learned a lot about taking care of yourself, but it kept down that road of under eating, under fueling. I think I had 2 or 3 personal trainers.
Okay.
I sat down with a dietitian. That was the first time I ever knew there was someone who did nutrition. All of my trainers would be like, just eat 1,200 calories or less every day.
Sorry.
Yeah. And by the way, I was a cheerleader, so we were flipping and tumbling and all the things every single day. So like you can't eat on 1,200 calories. Like that's not, I know that now. I didn't know that then. So long into that, I decided after meeting with a dietitian, I was like, you know what? This is really fascinating. This is really interesting. I like health. And I grew up anyways around a hospital. So for me, this was natural, like to go into this field. So when I started college, I was like, it's going to be something in the health field. I don't really know what it's going to be. And then I had my first nutrition course, and that was another dietitian who was teaching. She was really just talking about how nutrition is medicine and how nutrition can actually change the trajectory of your life.
Yeah.
So that really started to make me question, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? I started coaching boot camp classes.
Okay.
I know.
Can you
And step
what
classes.
is that? What's a step class?
You know those like steps in here? The gray steps we have?
Yeah.
Like,
You just do steps.
but like to a rhythm, to a song.
So it's like Zumba.
yeah.
Kinda.
But
Yeah.
with steps.
Like on a Stairmaster for the first time yesterday.
What do you think of it?
It's graphic. It's
mean,
like, how
I
do people
lived on
do this
that.
every day?
I lived on that.
Okay.
I loved the Stairmaster back in the day. So I was doing that all throughout college. And then I officially decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go the dietitian route. So I enrolled at MTSU in Tennessee, so Middle Tennessee State University. I got into their dietetic program. And I met a few girls there who were doing CrossFit.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know what CrossFit is. Like, I have a personal trainer. I was already at that time, because I was still doing some pageants. So I was training twice a day. I would run in the mornings, lift in the afternoons. I was tracking calories, macros. I was just like beating myself into the ground still. And they were like, just come, just try it out. And I was like, ugh, okay. So I went to a 6 a.m. class and we did back squats. And I was like, ooh, I kind of like this. Like, I like squatting.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of like this. So the rest is kind of history in terms of that. I think I was hooked in 5 minutes of doing that. But then I kind of got to see that there's so much more to nutrition than even what I was learning, because I was getting to actually see women who wanted to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And they could look a certain way, but they were actually strong while doing it. And so that started to really change and mold just in general, like what I wanted to do with my career as being a dietitian. But in a nutshell, that is really
Pretty
how
quick
I got
nutshell.
there.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff like I just didn't even know about you. So
I know.
thanks
and
for sharing that.
Now
I know that's,
thousands of other people know it.
I know, but I mean that's great, and I think it's really interesting to hear everybody's stories of like how they get into something, because I think everybody for some reason or another, like hopefully, like if they're in a career space that they actually like enjoy what they do, like they sought it out, they chased the dream, and then now they're into it. Is like there was a moment in time where there was some kind of a switch that happened that made them want to choose that career path.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting to hear that, like, I feel like a lot of times when it comes to the fitness space, a lot of that comes from people who were like struggling with something.
Yeah.
And they found a way that's like, hey, this can help me kind of get out of that, like get out of whatever that may look like. And more times than not, I feel like a lot of that is like a mental battle that they're fighting.
Yeah.
And it's like you step into the fitness space, and I'm not saying that the fitness is like what's going to like make all your mental and emotional and soul problems go away. But at the end of the day, it's like there is so much life to be gained from the fitness space, whether it's just like, I mean, there's so many studies to talk about, like, obviously we know training affects your body, but also like your mental state too.
Yeah.
And nutrition is something that's 100% that goes in with that, right?
Yeah.
And so kind of with that, I guess, like going with how you used to struggle with underfueling, like eating as a whole, just for having a certain look, what would you say to like guys, girls, women, like it doesn't matter. I feel like that's something that is a lot more prevalent in women, I feel like.
Yeah.
Just kind of in the day of age that we're in, like when it comes to like comparison and on social media, and like you're seeing XYZ on social media, and then it's like, for whatever reason, like people feel like they have to be or look a certain way, I guess. What would you speak into to kind of like help with that, I guess, and from the aspect of like, you have to be careful about your boundaries of like, this is me coming from a place of like, I want to actually help you get out of this because you've been there before. And so it's like you can kind of speak more life into that. So like, what would you say to somebody who is kind of struggling with that, and what does that route look like with steps going forward?
Yeah. That's definitely like there's multiple parts to that, right?
Yeah.
So like the first part of it is just, it is okay to want what you want.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people, because I'll have people who sit down with me and they're like, I want to lose weight. And I'm going, okay, how much weight? I don't know, just like a few pounds. Okay, but like, describe that to me. Tell me a little bit more. And they're so afraid to just be honest and say like, you know, I want to look like, I don't know, I'm trying to like think of someone, like just think of any games athlete, any celebrity, right?
Yeah.
Like they have that in their mind, but they're so afraid to just say it because there's so much shame on, if I say that, then that makes me a bad person because the world says I shouldn't worry about that, which is really insane, right? Because at the end of the day, it's your body, it's your health. So what you want matters. So like, I think that right there has to matter. It's like what you want does matter. How you go about getting it, that's where I would say like things can start to break down, where when you are comparing yourself to someone else, you don't really realize what you're comparing that to, right? So like, I'll use myself as an example. Someone just learned that my mom died. She had an eating disorder. She used to train and coach people. Like they're like learning this and they're like, I didn't know that about her. And just imagine, so like if you were comparing yourself, so if people don't know this, I recently just lost 20 pounds. Like, so somebody could be going, oh, well, she did that because she's a dietitian. Like, well, but you don't know what you're comparing to. You don't know that story.
They see the end result and where you currently are, and they're like, they're judging it off of that, and they don't know the full story of like what led to that space.
Exactly. So that right there is like, first and foremost, it's okay to want what you want. But the second piece is, how are you going to get there? So typically when I'm working with someone, what we're looking at is we look at what you want, and then we need to back that up, because there is a gap between what you want and where you are. And when you can understand what that gap is and you can start to close it, that's where you're actually going to get to where you want to be at. So when you're online and you're scrolling and you're seeing all these things and you're watching what other people are doing, or you're here in the gym, I think that's probably worse, is when you're here in the gym, and I'll just speak to women, when you're here in the gym and your leggings go down past your belly and you're stopping the workout to pull them up. When you're a man and you're watching some younger guy take his shirt off and you're like, oh, dang, I don't look like that. Like, I'm not his age anymore, right? So when you're doing that, you're actually losing the opportunity to make yourself better, because the only thing you're focused on is what someone else is doing. And if you can actually just come from a place of like, this is what I want, and actually allow other people to get what they already have and what they want, and just be comfortable with that and just focus on you, that's actually how you're going to overcome a lot of this self-doubt. Not to say there's not going to be a lot of like, yeah, you do need to change some things about your nutrition. Yeah, we probably should talk about the way you're training and adjust a few things here and there. But really, the first place is accepting what you want, and then the process to get there means you just need to be focused in on what you're doing to get there.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I think that's, like I said, it's just like, I feel like nowadays it's just comparison is just so prevalent. So kind of stepping into like talking about when it comes to training, when it comes to nutrition as a whole, I kind of want to like go through, we're going to take it a little bit more lighthearted for a second. Okay. We got deep right off the rip, and I love it, but we'll take a quick break. So I'm just going to go through a couple items. You're just going to give me a yes or a no. Okay.
I don't even know if I can look yet. All right, go
close
ahead.
Your eyes. Here we go.
I'm going to close.
Item number one. We have protein, whey protein. Yes or no?
No.
Okay. I know I said yes or no, but I wonder why. What are your thoughts on why?
Just eat more protein. Just eat real food.
Just eat it?
Eat a steak.
Eat a meat stick?
Like, yeah.
We came in today and she's got some meat sticks. I love it. All right. Okay, so I don't think, so do you think that it's better to, because obviously this is supplementation, right?
Okay, right.
And so it's like, I think where a lot of people get this wrong is supplementation turns into no longer supplementary.
Yes.
And it comes to replacing the whole foods. And then that's probably, is that fair to say, like, that's probably where it would become a problem?
Yeah,
like,
so
become an
I have a
issue?
saying, right? I say this to every client, I say this to every person, food first, supplement second.
Yeah.
If you legitimately, like, do you do a protein shake every day?
Not every day, but we know my eating habits.
Okay, right.
We're working on them.
Okay, but like, this is gonna be helpful. When your day of eating, like, what proteins do you typically eat?
The classics, eggs in the morning with some turkey sausage.
Okay.
And then I'll rotate. We love to call it meat cereal, me and some buddies, and it's literally like meats. You can rotate your meats so you don't get tired of it, you know? So chicken, steak, ground turkey with rice.
Meat cereal?
We call it meat cereal. It's easy. It's just, it's man food, you know, it's just whatever. So.
Not woman food. Okay, got
correct.
it. Okay, got it.
Correct.
So imagine, right, you're wanting to bump up your protein.
Mm-hmm.
For you, I'm going to take a protein shake is one of two things. One is because either you think you need to be doing it because you're trying to work on your performance. But number two would be you didn't have time, so protein shake's the easiest thing you could get down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's if I didn't prepare.
Yeah.
You know?
So for other people, this is breakfast. This is, like versus it's like, okay, can we just add another egg? Can we just add another ounce of steak? Can we add another, I think before going to a protein shake, like, I'm not against them. I'm just against the fact of, like, I guarantee if you sat down with me today and I was listening to what you ate, I'm going to go, eat more of the real food.
Yeah.
You had 2 eggs. I don't want to hear it. Have another one.
Yeah.
Like, that's, but yeah.
I'm tracking. I'm with it.
But I don't love it.
Number 2.
Okay.
I feel like this is pretty much the same thing. Probably even worse.
But just trash that.
Protein bars, trash that.
Oh my God. Okay, no. All right, pull it back out. No, how much protein's in it?
20 grams.
How many
or
calories?
21, depending on what flavor you have.
Okay, but how many calories?
It depends on what flavor you have. Well, let's see. We'll do some quick math here. So the peanut butter one has 20 grams of protein, so that's 80 calories. It's got 4 grams of carbs, so that's another 16. So we'll just call it 100.
Okay, so
not counting fat, if there's fats. It doesn't say.
There probably are fats. When it comes to protein bars, because I get asked this all the time, it's going to be the same thing about the protein shake.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Food first, supplement second. But if you're going to get a protein bar, when you look at the label, so let's say the calories say 200, you want the protein to be 20. Like, minimum. If you look at carbs and fat, I always like somewhere fat, like 10 grams is probably good. And then carbs, like 45 or less. But just FYI, like, that could be a meal. You could literally eat, like, I'm trying to think, for 45 grams of carb. I mean, I feel like we could have the whole bag of rice cakes for 45 grams of carbs. But, like, that would be my only pet peeve.
Is what?
Just to make sure, like, if your calories or whatever the calories are, the protein is, like...
Oh, the protein's got to be up.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
All right. Also, just eat more real food.
Now, this next one, near and dear to my soul.
Okay.
C4, or just energy drinks as a whole. This is not a...
Okay.
Whatever. Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
But, like, yeah, no.
I don't want to hear your reason why. I'm just kidding. Okay, dive into that a little bit. Why?
It's so artificial. Like,
yeah.
I know that makes me sound like such a little, like, almond girl snob, but, like...
Okay, so let's we'll kind of dive into that a little bit. So obviously, like with CrossFit as a whole, like if you look at the 100 words of fitness,
Yeah.
and when we discuss nutrition, at the end of the day, most of what it's saying is eat whole foods, okay, and things that are not processed.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, what is it in those that you feel like is so like that it just is so bad? Just the fact that it is so fake.
Yeah.
And what can that lead to? Like in the sense of like your gut or like gut health or you don't have to get super into that, but
what's it sweetened with? Do you know if it's stevia or like does it
sucralose?
Okay. So either way, right? Like my first thought is like you might as well just have a soda. Right? So like why would you demonize a soda but also have an energy drink?
Yeah.
Like that drives me batty to hear.
Drives you what?
Batty.
Batty?
I'm like an old granny.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe you've never heard that.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, it drives me batty. Anyways, now you're gonna use it.
No shot.
You definitely will.
Continue.
So to me is just, again, you might as well just have a soda at that point. Like what is it? Like,
well, it's got the beta-alanine in it, you know, and caffeine.
Okay.
Soda doesn't have that much, but all right.
But
cool.
like,
We'll
yeah,
move on.
like, but okay, but either way, right? Like, you wanted to know though, like, what would be the complications over time?
Right.
Is like, think about it in terms of like, you and I were talking about cortisol earlier, right?
Yep.
So, more than likely, someone who's doing one of those is having maybe 2 of those a day, plus coffee.
Dang.
I'm sure.
That's a lot.
I've seen
That's a lot.
the things I see around here
That's fair.
that I just
I used to. I'm not gonna lie.
right.
But,
You have a coffee right there too.
yep.
So, right. So just that alone, right? That's going to shoot cortisol through the roof over time, only because it's going to keep your nervous system stimulated. And when you think about your nervous system being that stimulated, just know and understand that the body works as a whole.
Yeah.
So if our nervous system is staying stimulated, you're likely doing that because you didn't sleep well, you long shifts, maybe you know you should be eating, but you're like, I can't eat right now, so it's easier to numb it down with caffeine. It's like when you're doing this all over time and you compound that like over the next decade, your nervous system is going to be wrecked, which means like it's going to be in a state of hypervigilance, all just from something that you could have just maybe done something more natural. Like I mean, coffee still has caffeine in it, but at least it doesn't have anything extra in it. So like there's just a lot to it. And in my mind, I'm like, I understand maybe one every once in a while, but people are typically doing that daily.
Okay. Cool.
And that's,
I am really, this is something that I have been diving into with the cortisol, and I think that is something because it's like stress as a whole, like you're saying, like everything works together, right? And it's like everybody has stress from life, whether it be their work, their family life, whatever else is going outside of the gym, and then you add in training. We do a lot of obviously high intensity training, so that's making cortisol even higher, and then we're adding in caffeine. And I've done some research, and you can maybe speak on this a little bit better, of like, if we, going back to the concept of like underfueling, if I underfuel for an extended period of time, does that also play a role into the cortisol and keeping your like, it's your parasympathetic nervous system, right? That like just stays elevated.
Well, so parasympathetic would be rest and digest, meaning everything is super slowed down. Your sympathetic would be
fight or flight.
Your sympathetic would be that fight or flight. So what really ends up happening is that you are constantly in a state of fight or flight. There are some people, so like this is something I want to bring into the gym. I actually do a metabolic typing test where I'm able to see which system you're using more of, which really helps us to understand like how quickly you're burning through your mineral stores, your fuel, and even understanding what fuel would actually fuel you better. So one of the things that I've seen with that is someone who has been under fueling for a really long time typically what happens with them is that their adrenals and their thyroid, they both start to get sluggish. And when that starts to get sluggish, what you're going to see is that someone is not able to be as lean as they want to be.
Yeah.
They're not able to lift the way they want to lift. They're not sleeping great. Their depression's worse. Their anxiety is worse. I mean, it is literally a laundry list. And then when you couple that with annual blood work, you're going to start to see things like, okay, my blood sugar is high, my fasting glucose is too high, or my liver enzymes are off. You're going to start to see this. And I think what people forget is that what you do today is going to impact how you are able to function when you're 70, 80, 90.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be the grandma or the grandpa in the nursing home in the chair who can't get up because all you did in your 30s, 40s, even 20s, like all you ever did, you were just trying to chase after something that, while in the moment it felt good because you needed that caffeine, or it just felt good to like not eat because you don't like the way you look, and you're trying to outperform, so then you're getting hurt. Like, when you start adding this up over the decades, the only person you're hurting is who you're going to be when you're in your 80s and 90s. That's it. That's the only person you're hurting right now.
That's a great thought, because I think it's so easy to get caught up in like, oh, how do I get through today? Or like, how do I make this training session the best one? Or how do I make like myself look more lean today, or whatever. And it's like, I never even really thought about it like that, of just like, obviously anything in life, it doesn't matter what you do, like we have to set ourselves up for success in the future. Obviously that also plays a lot into like what we're actually taking into our bodies. So all right, last one.
Yes and no.
Okay, this is electrolytes, if you can't see it.
Yes. Okay, the yes, because so many people need electrolytes. So many people need electrolytes. The no, and this has been through just the metabolic typing testing that I've been doing, is learning that not every person needs that high of sodium. Some people need a little bit different of a dosage. So I would say if you are doing this is great. If you're someone who gets more anxious throughout the day after having one of these, I would probably adjust the dosage a little bit. If you're someone who doesn't get that way, you're probably fine with this brand. But yes and no to that. But I do like them.
What are, I guess, like, what are the benefits of having electrolytes? Could you kind of speak into that for people that may or may not know?
Yeah. I mean, obviously the big one's going to be hydration, and like it's going to help you to feel your best. But one of the things that I've seen more on like a cellular level is that it's actually going to help the thyroid function better. It's going to help the adrenals. So that's going to be more like the stress, the cortisol, what people are really stressed out about. No pun intended there.
That's good. That's great.
But it's going to help those glands function better, because they're obsessed with how much protein can they eat, that's great. I'm like, claps for you. They're obsessed with how much carbs or fats they eat, but you forget that minerals also make the body function. So making sure that you're getting that in. Obviously this is supplement, so I'm still going to say food first.
Come on.
Yeah. But this is definitely something I would say, and I would say for pretty much general population, we're not getting enough. We're just not. So adding something like that in.
Electrolytes.
Yeah. Adding that in would be good. Just talk to your doctor first.
Awesome. Yeah. Ask your
talk to your primary care before you make any changes to your health.
No, that's good. All right. So I kind of want to segue this back into not necessarily deep stuff, but I do want to get your thoughts on some more, not necessarily like myths per se, but I do feel like, once again, kind of going back to like when it comes to social media, there's so much comparison, and everybody's so willing to like try a new fad or a new diet or whatever. And I think diet is so nutritional. We kind of mentioned earlier, like how everything is so very restrictive. When, let's say you have somebody and they don't really know where to start with nutrition, they could either be really physically fit, or they could really like not physically fit, and they're trying to figure that out. What are the steps that you would first initially give to people of like, hey, this is how we're going to try to make this more sustainable?
Okay.
to the point where like you're able to stay consistent with it, rather than taking like, I'm just going to say like a couple diets just off the top of my head, just like something like keto, or something like a carnivore diet. And maybe you can kind of speak your thoughts on those, because I think those are things that are very like kind of widespread. And I just want to hear your opinions on them.
Oh, my opinions on those. Okay, we'll get to those. So if you're starting out, doesn't matter what level you are, whether you're brand new to working on your nutrition or you've been doing this for years, the very first thing is you need to be aware of what you're eating in the first place. We live in a day and an age where we believe what we're doing, but we don't actually know what we're doing. And so what I mean by that is like a lot of people tell me I eat really well.
Yeah.
But and I'm just going to ask you, when I say eating clean, what comes to mind for you?
What comes to mind? I would say eating clean just means trying to stay as close to whole foods as possible.
Okay. So other answers I've gotten has been low fat.
Okay.
I've been told lean protein, right? So people have a perspective on what eating clean should look like. They have a perspective on eating healthy looks like. Everyone has their own definition.
Right.
And so with that, that's why I say start with being aware. So take 3 days, log everything you eat. You're not trying to be perfect. You're not trying to hit a certain calories, certain protein, none of that. Just see what you eat. And don't try to be like this like perfect health queen or king, and you're
You're gonna
all,
change your
like,
diet for 3 days.
like,
Be like, yeah, I ate a couple grapes and some broccoli for breakfast. Like,
but when you actually build awareness around it, now you can start to see what needs to adjust.
Right.
Now you can start to see what needs to fix. Right. When I was talking earlier about, I said gaps, I bring that into this as well. When we can see what you actually eat and we have awareness around that, then we can start to see, okay, if your goal is to lose weight, if you want to get to that goal, lose 10 pounds, looking at what you eat right now, here's how we can slowly start to adjust that. That's sustainable over time. Because with your nutrition, it's just about changing one behavior at a time. You don't need to overhaul everything.
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
good.
actually what all these other diets do. They're going to force you to overhaul everything, which is why you don't stick with it.
right. Cool. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, that's something even like in training that we like try to preach to people is like, we're just trying to make like one better decision, right? Because it's like, if we just try to change everything at once, it's going to be really hard to sustain that, I guess. So, cool. So I know you had just mentioned like some people will be like, oh, well, I'm eating low fats or I'm eating low carbs. We're going to go into those, as well as your carnivores, your ketos, your whatever ones that you want to kind of dive into with that. But let's kind of talk about why we need these things. Carbs, fats, obviously they're macronutrients. So like why we need them, especially in relation to, yes, our health, also training, like why we need them, and kind of dive into what that looks like in amounts or qualities. Because like obviously we have simple carbohydrates, we have complex carbohydrates, and just kind of explain like what that is to people so they can kind of know what to look for as they're looking for making these better food choices.
Okay. Man, that is a
So
loaded...
why are carbs bad?
That is a loaded thing. Okay, first I'm going to start with just like the diets in general and just get that out of the way.
Okay.
Just let me...
Just get it off your chest.
Get it off my
So you can
chest.
breathe a little bit.
If you're doing CrossFit, you have to have carbs to perform. That's just unless, I will say, there is a select few, and if you're listening or watching, you're probably not one of them, but I will say the select few, we would know that they burn better by eating higher fats. And we would know they would have some type of health condition that does actually function better, needing more fats. And that they could go in there, do CrossFit, weightlifting, whatever it is, and get the results they want and function well. There is that population. But when you do CrossFit, you are taxing your body, and the body's first line of energy is a carbohydrate.
Yeah.
That is, you can spin that any way you want to spin that. I don't care how much you Google and whoever you talk to and whatever fake certificate they have.
The Krebs cycle's real. You know?
It's real.
It's real.
You have to have carbohydrates. So all the diets that are out there, first and foremost, right, come back to what are you eating? What is your goal? 9 times out of 10, that diet you think you should be doing is probably not the one you should be doing, because all it's going to do is keep you stuck in the same loop and you're never going to get the results you want. To answer your question though, in particular, for like when you're out and about, what people should know, we could get really sciencey here, but here I think I'm going to make it even easier. Because when I imagine the person who's listening to this right now, you're getting ready to go to the grocery store. You want to know what to buy when you're at the grocery store. I could sit here and tell you all about simple and complex carbs, and that would be really cute and fun of me, and I get to use some of my degree.
Let's go.
But I think it's better to know when you're in the grocery store, what should you get. So we'll go easy. Protein, right? Okay. Everyone kind of knows. We're looking at animal products. We're looking there. You could do plant-based protein, but you're looking for something that's lean. So anything 93% or higher would be great. Great options. Really simple thing to think about protein. In terms of how much to have, that's going to be different for every single person. But what I can say is every time you're eating, you need a source of protein. That has to be in there. Just absolutely has to be. And if I had to guess, they're probably already eating that way. So protein's probably like, check, got it. Then we look at carbs. Carbs get the worst. This is like the redheaded stepchild of nutrition for whatever reason. And I think you know this because every time you tell someone to come talk to me, you're like, by the way, she's going to make you eat more carbs. And I
Did they tell you that?
Yeah.
I didn't know they actually told you that. That's funny.
I will say this. I had a client last week and we bumped his carbs up. And he looked at me and he went, seriously? And I was like, but you keep getting leaner. You look great. You're performing great.
Is this our gold star?
Yeah, this is our gold star. Yeah.
You know who you are if you're watching.
You know who you are. But I mean, he's a great example of just starting out from like not having that many carbs or just kind of trying to be mindful of that. And now he's eating so many that he's literally looking at me like, can you stop giving me more carbs? And I'm like, I will when you stop doing so well and getting the results you want.
Yeah.
But when you're in the grocery store, we're looking at fruits, any type of vegetable.
That's something that cracks me up. I'll pause you for a second. When people are like, you can't have carbs. And I'm like, you do realize fruits and vegetables are carbs.
Right. Like.
It's like, what?
Okay. So this would be my pet peeve with paleo. Like, and carnivore.
Yeah.
Carnivore makes me want to roll my eyes. Like, I cannot stand that. I want to punch the person. Does it? Yeah, I'm sure his colon looks phenomenal. Wait till that colonoscopy. Anyways.
His biceps look nice.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Continue. I'm gonna like fume over that man. Now I already forgot what I was gonna say because I'm so mad about you bringing him up.
We're talking about the grocery store, fruits, vegetables.
Okay, yeah.
Goes in with paleo.
Yeah. Oh, my pet peeve with paleo is there like no beans, no grains.
Yeah.
That's carbohydrates. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I totally understand if you're like, no Little Debbie's. Obvious, like, yeah, that's great. Sure.
Yeah.
What do you mean we can't have bread?
Yeah.
That drives me batty. There's your favorite word again. But, so you're in the grocery store, fruits, vegetables, bread is totally fine. No one's saying you can't have bread. If anything, turn the label over, look for a higher fiber bread. So I want that, when it says dietary fiber, let's look for like, I'm going to be generous here and say it at least needs to say like 3 grams or higher.
Yeah.
Go for a higher fiber. Rice, beans, legumes, pasta. Pasta's fine too. I want to punch the person that said pasta's not good to have. Man, that makes me mad inside.
I'd love to see you punch somebody.
Would you really?
Yeah.
I think some people
I don't
would pay
think
for
you
that.
have it in you. I just don't.
Maybe the Liver King, maybe. You might have to edit that part out.
No,
We'll get sued.
we'll get Liver King up in here.
We'll get sued. No. But same thing with pasta. It's going to be the same way with bread, right? So look for a higher fiber option.
Okay.
Then we have fats. So I love avocado oil. That's like my favorite. She and I are like best buds. I love her so much.
Bessies.
Yeah. Olive oil, right? You're looking at oils, nut butters. I hate peanut butter, but like, yeah.
You don't like peanut butter?
I
Like
hate
you don't
peanut
like
butter.
the taste of it, or you don't like the?
No, I hate peanut butter.
Why?
It's disgusting.
But it's okay to have.
Yeah,
for
that's
fats.
fine.
Okay.
It's just disgusting.
Natural peanut butter is the way to go. But anyways, so like, I'm glad that we clarified peanut butter is fat and not protein. But anyways, continue.
Okay, you bring a great point though. Please, when you're in the grocery store, don't get caught up in buying everything that says it has protein added to it.
Says the label, yes.
That pisses me off.
Yeah.
My bagel has protein in it. Are you kidding me? So does like 5 eggs. What are you doing right now? Like oh my gosh, just eat a normal bagel. Like I can't stand that.
I'm with you on that.
That bugs me so much. Just because that goes right back to like, that's no different than the energy drink, right? Like you're literally you're adding things to something that never was meant to have that.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that to that. Dairy is going to be great. Full fat dairy is fine. That's totally fine. Low fat dairy is fine. It's all fine. Just be mindful of what's in there when you're shopping. So that's what I would say, to just clarify that a little bit when you're at the grocery store.
Sweet, I love it. Yeah, I think being able to like read a simple food label is pretty helpful.
Yeah.
And just like if you don't know, a good tip is like if you are on the outside of the store, that's where you need to be.
Yeah.
You know? Do you know why that is? Like why they keep everything towards the outside of the store? Like just where you're going to find like all produce, meats, all that.
I don't think I know the answer to that.
I heard it one time and I couldn't remember.
I can tell you though, like when you're in the aisles, there are certain things at certain levels and that cost different prices on the brands. So for kids, they're obviously going to keep the sweeter of the things lower to the ground because then that's eye level to the kids. So if you go into, I love Kroger on Shore. It's
your go-to.
Yeah. There are some people who hate it, but whatever, they can be haters. But if you go into Kroger on Shore and you go down the aisle with the cereal, what you'll notice is for adults, they put Magic Spoon, that like whatever that cereal is, that $10 cereal.
Yeah.
It is literally eye level with someone who would be about 5'5" and above. So that you can, they do the same thing with adults. So it's all the same exact way.
That's interesting, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's one thing I can tell you about when you're in the aisles.
Okay.
Fun.
A lot of process stuff
Trivia.
too.
That's a trivia thing.
A little trivia with Brit. Awesome. Well, do you have anything else that you would just like to say to the people? Just anything that's weighing on your heart that you're like, this has to be said?
Is this a confessional?
No, it's not a confessional.
This is like reality TV, like where I do
Could
my
you
confessional.
imagine if we did a reality TV with like you and Kiki and Romy?
No, I don't think.
I'd pay good money to see that. It's basically just a 9 a.m. class, but
yeah,
that's kind of
I was thinking more of just like all the coaches, a confessional after, like being filmed while you guys are coaching class, and then there's like a confessional later, and it like splits to what you all are really thinking. I think that would be phenomenal.
I don't think people want to see that.
I do.
Yeah, but I don't think everybody else does. But
I doubt that. They can put in the comments.
Y'all can put in the comments if y'all want to see that. But
I just think this, right? So if there's just someone who's watching or listening right now, and there's gonna be 2 different groups I'm gonna talk to. The first one's gonna be, you need help, but you're just unsure what you need help with. And you maybe feel like you should have this figured out, but you can't figure out what it is that you're missing.
Yep.
Let's just do a session. in 45 minutes, we can figure out what one of those gaps are so that you can start to close it, so you get a little bit closer to the results that you want. The other group would be the group that you really feel like you've got this, Pat, you've got it down. But maybe you go to the doctor. Maybe you found out that something's going on with one of your parents' health and you're starting to get kind of concerned if you're doing the right things for you, for your health. Let's just do a session. What's the worst to check in to see if you are doing what you want to be doing, right? It comes back to that whole thing. It is totally fine and totally okay if your goal is to look a certain way, to perform a certain way, feel a certain way. But let's just make sure that you're doing what you need to do so that you can actually get there.
I love it.
So
cool. So that's your closing thoughts for today. If you, like she said, if you're one of those two groups of people, book a session with Brit. How can they do that? Go to the metabolism dietitian, Brit.
Anyone can actually message me on Instagram. That's totally fine. Just tell me you're from Rife and I'll get you all set up. But I do have QR codes all around the gym, and also you can book a free consult right now in Wodify. But if you ever want to book or do anything, just scan one of the QR codes around the gym.
Sweet. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It was a great time.
We'll see if they want me back.
Yeah, just no Taylor Swift, and we'll call it. We'll call it good.
Wait. What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
I guess probably Bad Blood.
Ooh, I like that. With Kendrick Lamar or no?
Well, the
know
problem
you like
is
Drake, so
that's the problem is before all the beef, I would have said yes, but now I can't. Like I can't rock with somebody that's against my guy. So no Kendrick. Sorry. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all on the next episode. Make sure to drop a like, give us a follow on the YouTube page. Just once again, it'll help us grow the channel. And drop in the comments also what you would like to know more about and maybe some topic ideas for our next podcast. We'll see you in the gym.